Mid says Odin split the sea in two. She's always been partial to a tall tale. But there's tall, and then there's tall.
I struggle to believe it myself.
I see your uncle isn't with you.
He stayed with the Enterprise. After our brush with the Einherja, she was in urgent need of repair. And my uncle knows a shipwright in Randalar. We're to join him there when we're ready to sail for Ash.
You sure that's wise? Last I heard, the place was still overrun with Akashic.
Show me a city where that isn't true. Ultima's plague is spreading.
We're running out of time, aren't we? We've done our best to shore up that hideaway. But I doubt a few planks will stop what's coming. Still, we'll keep at it. Every little helps, I suppose.
Let's hope so. I should visit Joshua, assuming Talia will allow it.
How was she? The Enterprise.
Ah, Sid. Just the man I was hoping to see. Did you have a mo?
Don't tell me. You need more bomb ash.
Oh no, we still got plenty of that left. I'm working on bringing another one of the Chief's designs to life. This time, it's a new smelter. It's got a reverberatory hood over the top for additional thermal amplification and a system of reciprocal recirculatory regenerators that let's just say it gets very blimmin' hot. A heck of a lot hotter than anything Blackthorn's got in his forge, that's for certain. Only Mithril engines get hotter, and you can't chuck ore in one of them and get metal out the other end. Trouble is, we won't be able to make out of any old rubbish, neither. We need the good stuff. And I hear you once helped Helena get her hands on exactly that. Any chance you could help me too?
If it's for the good of the hideaway, I'd be happy to.
Oh, it is. I promise you.
So, what exactly is this good stuff you need me to find?
We've got a couple of examples here. Spherical echoes, we call it.
More fallen materials, so this smelter is similar to the Mithril engine in more ways.
That's right. They're a bit like the thermal helms. Fallen ceramics deal with heat like nothing. And what's more, they're directional, transferring heat from the inside to the outside. We've collected as many as we can, and I know where we can get the rest.
So you want me to visit some ruins, destroy some echoes?
That's it, and we're only 3 short, mind. And we know there's one up Amber Way, in that ruin that they call Lost Plume, and another in the Silent South, over in Dalmekia.
All right then.
Will do. I'll be keep...
With Canva in the hands of Akashic, we'll need to find another port. Preferably one as well hidden.
Miss, can we read Miss Editor's story for our lesson today?
Canva lost.
It's a wonderful idea, Justin.
It can't be true.
Let's do just that.
Have you tried Molly's lemon tarts? I've never had anything so delicious.
Trouble with your gear, or what do you want? No scratches, all right? That it? Fine.
The stew's awfully thin these days.
Oh, what do you expect? Farmers are abandoning their fields and traders their roots. Most of what we have now comes from here in the hideaway.
Oh, don't tell me we've run out of Pepio nuts and all.
Still alive, are ya? If you're gonna buy some, be quick about it. And be thankful you got that much. I reckon I can find a buyer. And be thankful you got that much. You got out else? And be thankful you got that much. You got out else? I reckon I can find a buyer. You got out else? I reckon I can find a buyer. You got out else? I reckon I can find a buyer. And be thankful you got that much. You got out else? Come again. Or don't. I'm not much bothered either way. Aye, it's a dangerous world out there. It'd better all be here. You'll not find a better price than that. Finished, are you?
Good morrow to you, my friend. I have compiled some new entries, if you would like to see them. I have quite the find for you today. If you have a question for me, I should be happy to answer it. You are always welcome, Clive.
There's no way of knowing if Doris will confide in me, but I can speak to her at least. Where are you?
Can I help you, Sid?
I'm looking for Doris. Is she here?
I'm afraid not. She's at Martha's Rest on a job. My job, actually. When she heard what the mission was, she insisted on going herself. Alone.
Did she? What was the mission?
Following up on some new information. Once they'd settled in, the bearers you helped liberate in the Dragon's Eyrie were keen to talk about their imprisonment. And about their captor.
The slaver Cole's team were tracking when they were attacked by the Beastmen. I'll go and find her. She's at Martha's Rest, you say?
If she's not moved on already, yes. I hope everything's all right.
Why would Doris insist on going alone? Maybe Cole was right to be worried.
alive. You off then?
Heard the bad news then, did you?
What bad news?
About Dravost. Blackthorn's old haunt. With the forge and all that. Well, anyway, the mine's just down the road from there, are spewing out ether.
And the village?
Safe from the flood for now, but they've got other problems. Akashic. Every creature in the area is either turned, or on the way to turning, apparently. Zoltan and the others are living on borrowed time. They need help. Dorish sent a few curse breakers to keep an eye on things, but there's only so much a couple of scouts can do. If something ain't done soon, the old...
I won't let that happen.
Didn't think you would.
Does Blackthorn know?
I thought it might be better if he didn't. He'd only do something stupid. You reckon we should tell him?
No.
Yeah, well... I can't stand about knowing what's happening out there, so I'm off.
Welcome. You've a keen eye. An excellent choice. You've a keen eye. I do like a customer who knows what he wants. You've a keen eye. An excellent choice. I do like a customer who knows what he wants. Come back again.
Oh. Why, your stone is as...
There were ghosts at the gate, not days.
Those things I said before about not being able to fight.
Oh, Clive. What am I? My wards and I may soon be without...
What's happened?
The High Cardinal has descended from his lofty throne.
The High Cardinal?
Leader of the Council of Elders. Second only to his Radiance at the... Not that any of those things still exist. Now he goes by his noble title.
And what does he want with Northreach?
He wants to transform it into a military... a foundation upon which to build anew. He's already secured the support of the various army remnants, with promises that they shall be afforded the respect they deserve in his empire.
He would rob the populace to pay for...
Believe me, I have used every means of persuasion to discourage him from this folly. But
what does Captain Philippe make of that? When the town was under attack, it was him the soldiers rallied around.
How? By speaking out against one of the most... a man whose stated aim is to revive the empire Philippe's comrades swore to serve. And to improve, the captain can offer them a regular supply of gruel and an occasional trip to the Vale to help them forget the terrors they face each day. The Duke offers them a vision of strength. No. Any attempt to incite mutiny would cost Philippe the support of it. But given the mood around town, mutiny may yet be unavoidable. The people have little appetite.
Who could blame them?
Clive, would you appeal to the Duke for your services to Northreach? You have the respect of the soldiers, and they will take you to His Eminence if you ask them. And unlike Philippe, no bonds of loyalty prevent you from speaking. Well, will you try?
I'll see what I can do.
Thank you, Clive.
Tell me then, where will I find this Duke of Oriflamme? In the garrison?
Overseeing the troops, yes.
All right. Wish me luck. I may have met this Duke before, at the Remembrance Ceremony. Let's hope I didn't make a strong impression.
You needn't fret. The creatures have been...
Halt! Oh, sorry about that. You're the dame's man, aren't you? You got some business with the captain?
No, actually. With the Duke. I was hoping I might be able to speak with him.
We're under orders not to let any civilians pass. But you should be all right. His Eminence has heard all about you and your heroics. Wait here. I'll go and ask.
So, you are the sellsword who lent his aid to the garrison, and I shall... tell me, is it well...
Neither, Your Eminence. I thought only to inquire about your...
Ah, you are worried the expanded garrison will rent... Yet you needn't be. A proud fighting pride of place, in fact. For too long has... But no more. For it is they who shall see the Holy Empire rebuilt. Beginning...
Why here, Your Eminence?
The town has been fortunate enough to escape largely unscathed from the recent troubles, which is more than can be said for Oriflamme or... The Empire wants for a capital, and I believe Northreach to be... with Caer Norvent as her citadel. Once we have seen to the refortification of... We need only build a wall around both to create a city that would be the envy of... Plans are already under... Soon enough, these thralls shall learn that they are no match for the...
I fear you underestimate how dangerous these creatures are. Should they return in force, you will need all the people of Northreach to come together in defense of the town. Something they may be loathed...
The people will do... If Sanbreque is to be rebuilt, she will require one whose authority is beyond... That is why this levy is... so that any man who wishes to join the army might do so and be fed, outfitted, and paid as... And yet there are those who persist in peddling the treasonous lie that I seek to...
I suspect they're afraid of...
Precisely. The common folk have little and less, and you mean to deprive them of even that? You would sow the seeds of your new empire in your own salted earth.
Sabine, we have discussed this.
Yes, and I told you then how putting the empire before her citizens would lead...
Without an empire, there are.
And in yours, there will be only beggars. Is that what Griga wills for her people?
Do not take her name in vain.
I'll come back later. A citizens' revolt. I wonder what the people really think of the Dukes. It wouldn't hurt to ask them, I suppose. Let's begin with those on the other side of the wall.
There were ghosts at the gates not days ago.
All right there. What is it?
Just your opinion, actually. I wondered what you thought of the Duke.
Not much. None of it. It's thanks to nobles like him that we had to set up shop this side of the wall in the first place. Couldn't have the rabble getting any closer. Now he's trying to drive us out completely. Threatening to take everything we got from us if we don't clear off. If the dame said she wanted him run out of town, I'd be straight through that checkpoint, tar bucket in hand.
I got peppers to numb your tongue up.
I've been hearing a lot of talk about a certain...
Nothing good, I'll wager. Going around acting like he owns, and with hardly a word to the dame. This is her town.
I take it you'd rather she was in charge.
As far as I'm concerned, she just need his eminence to sod off.
Why, you storm is...
A question, if you don't mind. What do you think of the Duke of...
You build a life for yourself somewhere, earning for some noble to turn up and tell you got... If he thinks his name and his chains give him the right to empty our purse, we'll do whatever it takes to keep... Whatever it takes.
Well, the people seem united enough. What about the soldiers?
I heard that they got an icon to rid the meadows.
Excuse me, do you have a moment? I wondered if you'd mind sharing your thoughts.
Well, he's made a lot of enemies. I mean, look around us. You can see the traders might not like having the screws put on them. But if they've volunteered, a few more... I think the Duke's got a point when he says rebuilding the Empire is the best way of making sure. And if that means people who don't know one end of a sword from another have to make way for those who do, well...
You're the one who was talking to his eminence.
On the dame's behalf, yes. I was trying to persuade him not to take the people's good. What do you think of his plans?
I'm a soldier, mate. He tells me, listen, I've got nothing but respect for the dame. But I've got a family. That's where my loyalties lie. Not with the town or the Empire, but with my wife and children. If the Duke can get us the men and the equipment we need to fight off those blue-skinned bastards, I don't care how...
I left everything. As long as you remain, the Vale will see to your needs.
Sabine, you're embarrassing me.
I hear the Duke of Oriflamme plans to turn this town into... Do you think that's a good idea?
It's not for me to say. All I know is that unless the Emperor orders me otherwise... Look, no one likes all these taxes and tariffs, but empires don't come for free. Once Sanbreque is back on her feet, we'll all reap the benefit.
Let's see what Philippe makes of all this. Captain.
For you? Certainly. Thank you for last time. How can I help you?
I wanted to ask you about the Duke of... Do you intend to go along with his plan?
But to tell you the truth, it's my sworn duty as a captain of the Imperial Army to obey his order.
Philippe, I remember you saying that you became a soldier to protect the people you loved.
That's right.
Well, she doesn't agree with the Duke's orders either.
Thank you, Clive. Protecting the people I love is what matters. Well, duty called. Thanks again.
It seems Philippe wants to do the right thing at least. I expect Isabel will be pleased to hear that, if nothing else.
Ah, Clive, were you able to speak with...
I was...
Well, it will certainly help to hold back the though I doubt it will come as much consolation to the townspeople whose worldly goods are confiscated. They deserve to be heard, Clive. To have a say in this...
Sadly, His Eminence values their obedience more than their opinions. I fear he sees the people as mere pawns on his chessboard to be sacrificed for the great. Needless to say, they themselves are of a different opinion, and would rather... The soldiers, meanwhile, are content to follow them, and not just because of the Duke's rank, but...
I thought as much. Had I sworn to protect Sanbreque? I dare say I too would want nothing more than to see it right. Thank you for trying.
I don't know about that.
What happened to your unit?
I handed it in, along with my resignation. Told the lads I wished them well, but that I owe it to those I... Because I realized what really matters. Not following some nobleman's orders for the sake of it, but protecting what I'm protecting. I honestly don't know when those monsters will return, but I'm certain they're not finished with us yet. And when they do come back, we need to stand together. And with you to lead us, milady, I reckon it was you who finally convinced me. There's no point following orders if they go against everything you...
Indeed.
All of us, standing... That has always been Northreach's best hope. We have only to turn our attentions to the true end. Thank you, Philippe, for showing...
Anything for you, Miller. Speaking of standing together, would you mind if I borrowed a few of the lads from the Vale to help keep what I fear His Eminence has loftier tasks in mind?
Not at all.
Wouldn't be the first time.
There may be hope for Northreach, especially with men like you and Philippe. I, for my part, shall continue to work upon the Duke, in the stubborn belief, but I suspect I shall have to call upon your aid. Until then...
Until then?
Those things I said before about not being able to fight. There were ghosts at the gates not days ago.
I heard the dame got an icon to rid him.
Good girl. Fly, Ambrosia. These ones first. Be safe. to find this spherical echo. This is it. Right then. Just two more... Nora should be somewhere nearby. Assuming she's still here.
Ah, Clive. I'd like you to take something to Sir Wade. Seeds for planting. Thought it was about time they... I'll keep providing them with whatever they need in the meantime. But if Eastpool's going to survive, as of those poor bearers, they've lived their whole lives in servitude. Small wonder they ain't got the foggiest how to provide for themselves. So it's up... And if you're wondering why you... Well, the Wagoneers taking supplies up that way have been coming back with more and more reports of a cat. Sir Wade's putting a brave face on it. But I think even he's starting to worry. And if he...
All right.
Thanks. There. That should be enough to keep him in good...
Gizal greens.
Not the most mouth-watering crop, I'll admit. But they're hardy. Better that than something that'll wither away if... And chocobos love 'em too, which is no small thing. When I say all of us need to pull together, they ain't exactly succulent, but cook 'em right and they're...
I'll take your word for it.
Anyway, Sir Wade'll know what to do with them. I'll go up there and show him...
I'm sure you will.
Just because the heavens have gone to Rackaroon, it don't mean...
How do? There you go. That all, is it?
It doesn't still hurt, does it?
It's been a pleasure, Doris. Just like old times.
I'll give your offer some thought, my lady.
How goes the investigation?
Sid, what brings you to Martha's Rest?
You. I heard you were out here on your own, tracking...
Of course. And it had to be me. The bearers from the Dragon's Eyrie confirmed a long-held suspicion of mine. She's no fool. If we'd come in force, she would have spotted us straight away.
That was her just now, wasn't it? So...
I'd say so. Seems her time in Rosaria is coming to an end. She's abducted bearers from across the region and is looking to smuggle them back into Sanbreque. After her brush with those beastmen on the road to Northreach, she hired herself an Imperial escort, which she wants me to join. She's dangerous, Sid, but I think I could...
Then I'm going with you. I'll take care of the escort. You can see the bearers to safety.
The Baum Archers, soon to break camp. You go on ahead. I'll follow once I've sent word back to the hideaway. The Guardian saying we're supposed to grow our own food.
Ah, Lord Rossfield, what brings you to Eastpool?
A delivery.
These are Gizal green seeds. Martha's keen to cut the aprons. I jest, of course. You see, but they'd long since gone to seed.
Martha was hoping he might be able to show the bearers how to... so that they'll be able to fend for them.
That's not... These bearers had only recently escaped their... They know little of freedom, of providing for themselves and their loved ones. Unless we teach them how to live like free men, I fear that all we have achieved in bringing them here is to exchange one master for another. Not that myself and the Guardians have been the best example to them so far. It's about time we all started to provide for us. Unfortunately, we've been a little too busy of late to focus on much besides...
The Horde is closing in. They're coming, so wait, all of them.
Time it all. I thought we'd gather the men in the square. Send to the rest for reinforcement.
Yes, Sir Wade.
The Horde.
A Kashek, a veritable legion of them. They've been... We don't have the numbers to hold back a swarm that size. I had hoped to build a perimeter wall so that myself and the Guardians might...
Now you're out of time.
Precisely. If reinforcements from the rest arrive before they do, we may...
What if you could call on reinforcements from...
You mean the bearers? We brought them here so they might live.
So wait. You said you lack men to defend the village. Though they may not be trained soldiers like your Guardians, what help they are able to offer could still prove the
You're right, I will. My friends, I humbly beg your aid. We Guardians are few and our enemies many. But I swear we can defeat them with you at our side.
You would send us to the slaughter, to serve as bait for those fiends so that you and your men might be spared. And to think we trusted you. Say what you will. A home is not worth dying for.
But it is worth fighting for. Sir Wade fights to give you lot a chance. Just like I do. Just like Sid does. We all wanted to give you a home where you could be free. And you got one, didn't you? This place. Eastpool. This is your village. Your home. And if you don't fight to protect what's yours, you'll lose it. You know I'm right. This world wants to take everything from you. Everything. Your homes, your freedom, your very lives. So then, are you going to stand by and let that happen to you? Are you going to accept fate like good little Bran did and die, having never stood up for yourselves? Or will you fight like free men and women?
What do you do?
All right. Give me a sword. I never dreamt I'd have a home of my own. And now that I have, I don't want to lose it. I will protect what's mine, or die trying.
We all will. Free men and women, fighting together. For Eastpool! For Eastpool! Thank you, Martha.
Don't mention it. Just promise me one thing. That you'll show them how freeborn fight.
Gladly.
If it was numbers you were lacking...
Thanks to you.
Me? Oh, I just love the sound of me...
Lord Rosfield, my lady.
So what's the plan of action?
We'll divide our forces into several small detachments, each made up of guardians, bearers, and guards from the rest. These, upon engaging with the Akashic, each detachment will keep the creatures occupied as best they can. Steadily...
You're going to lure them into the village?
I am. We will have neither the time nor the resources to treat the wounded, so injuries must be avoided at all costs. By coordinating our withdrawal through the use of messengers drawn from among the bearers, we will aim to have the swarm converge at a point of our choosing. With luck, that point will be the village square. The perfect place for our most able warriors to surround them, and for you and I to finish them off.
A sound plan, but one that'll require a leader with a cool head and strong... I'd say you have both in abundance, Sir Wade. Please, leave the last...
Ha! And let you have all the...
Sir Wade!
Then you know what you must do. We work together. Everyone playing, each shielding the other, that no man might fall. That east for Rosaria.
For Rosaria!
We've no time to argue, my lord. I'll do as you ask.
And I will do as you ask.
Suppose we'd better do our bit too then, eh?
Right.
The calm before the storm. And here it comes. I will not let this village fall. Looks like that's the last of them.
Lord Rosfield!
What is it?
Owl from the rest. An Akashic Curl's been sighted on Rhiannon's Ride and is headed in there to...
Well, the better half of her guard is here. So wait, how many Akashic remain?
Hard to say. My men are still facing some resistance, but I could order a detachment or two to fall back.
No. Let them... You stay here too, Sir Wade. Your men need you. I'll go after the Curl. Join me only when Eastpool is won.
If you're sure. May the Founder protect you.
This one's mine. I might not know
why. Come on.
With me, Torgal.
All right. Back to Eastpool.
Lord Rosfield, the Curl, is it?
It's dead.
Thank the Found. We were able to eradicate the rest of... I have guardians posted around the village to keep watch for further attacks, but I hesitate to say it, but...
I think it might.
We saved... Thank you, my...
No, Sir Wade. You brought us together. Showed us what it means to...
We never had nothing to call our own before, but now we do.
Forgive us, Sir Wade. But there's no doubt in my mind anymore. We're free men now. So we have to fight to protect what's ours.
And we shall. This is our home. And if anyone or any...
They'll have us to answer.
Come on, then.
This village isn't gonna rebuild itself.
They're not slaves anymore.
No. Your father took pity on the bearer's plight, and I believe if he was still with us today...
I believe you might be right.
I shall remain here, my lord, and do what I can. After all, this is my home now, too. And I could hardly call...
I think you'll find it's East Pudlians. But you should be proud, all the same. I'll have to pull my weight, too. Can't have the rest. Speaking of which, I ought to be getting back.
Can we continue to count on your support, Martha?
Of course. And I'd be counting on us Rosarians have got to stick together.
Indeed we have.
And Clive, come by the Golden Stables when you get the chance. I ain't paid you for delivering them seeds yet.
All right.
Lord Rosfield, do you remember our very first clearing the goblins from the Stillwind? There's one sight that I shall never forget. Since that day, there have been more than a few times when I felt like when the odds seemed so stacked in the enemy's favor. I thought I may as well just lay. But every time, I would think back to the look in your eyes that day to be a shield. Know that whatever trials Eastpool may face, I shall never lose courage.
So Wade, you have always been a true... I know that Eastpool, and indeed all of Rosaria...
Thank you. I know the rest of the world will be safe in your...
The hero? It's lucky you came by when not only did my seeds get delivered, but you went...
I just did what I could.
And it's only right that you take it before...
Thank you, Moth.
So, peace pulls and a home to free bearers.
Well, it was your idea.
I know that, but I never stopped to think what it would mean. Bearers in charge of themselves, thinking for them, though I suppose the rest ain't much different nowadays. You know, bearers living free like that. Reminds me of when I first loath as I am to recall that particular day.
I take it you didn't always see eye to eye.
Well, if you really want to know, in fact, that's how I met him. Or at least... He showed up at the stables one day, asking questions about who'd been buying up bearers. Founder knows what he thought I was doing with them. Running a hunt, poking around in their innards. Something awful, anyway. Me, I thought he was a new constable. Thought the game was up. But somehow we both managed to work out what each other was about. And before I knew it, the cheeky arse was rattling on at me about how I was doing it all wrong. After all my hard work. Told me I was giving them relief, but not freedom. That my bearers were still dying as slaves. Got right under my skin, it did. Told him if he didn't like it, he could bugger off and report me to the garrison. And do you know what he did? He smiled. And then he laughed. And then I did the same. We made a pact that day.
And you were?
Well, we both wanted the same thing. To make life better for Bear, just like your dad. Do you know I was born right around the time Elwyn became Archduke? Growing up, I saw he certainly didn't lack for ambition that...
Indeed, but the loftier one's ambitions, the harder they are. Which is why those of us who follow in their footsteps need to finish what people like Cid...
Suppose you're right. And if we don't manage it, there's always them who come after. Good thing we've got a few half-decent sorts waiting, and it's almost enough to give you a little bit of hope. Anyway, enough nattering. Better get back to work. Let's see about making everyone some. The least the folks who saved Eastpool deserve is a hot meal. And you and me ain't gonna save the world on an empty...
That sounds like a wonder. Ready, go?
Yeah!
Good. They haven't broken camp yet. How did Doris come to know a slaver, I wonder?
We've waited long enough. She's not coming. Ready the bearers. We're leaving.
Back to civilization, is it, Mom?
With all haste. Lest any of you lack wits. I presume your men are ready. We've suffered too many delays as it is. Any more and I'll be docking your pay.
Yes.
Oh, it appears we have company. Kill him.
You're welcome to try. So much for your escort.
You'll forgive me for not avenging my men. I surrender. Do with me as you...
Cid!
Ah, Doris. You know, I always wondered what casting your lot with this criminal of all...
Better fighting for a cause than killing for coin. I'm sorry, Cid. I should have told you. This woman, my former master, once trained bear. She raised me like a daughter. And I did.
It wasn't all terrible. Surely, you were always so eager to learn. And had such clever hands. All my other children took either to the blade or to the books. Always, but you proved yourself a master of both. How about it, my little dagger?
I never swore my blade to you, nor will I ever. To liberate the bearers of farewell, master. Thank you for making...
You always were a righteous child. Perhaps that's the reason I loved you so.
What do you want to do with her?
I am not the killer she wanted me to be. Not anymore. And she no longer has friends in high places. The Dame does, though. Her connections at the Imperial Court will see that...
All right.
I am. And thank you for everything.
And I should head back to the hideaway and put
Welcome back, Cid. Doris's message just arrived. I hear you saved more bearers from...
With any luck, they'll be joining us in the hideaway shortly. Oh, and your letter. You don't...
I'd been hoping as much. She mentioned one or two... So the slaver we'd been chasing all these months was her former master. She's been arrested, by the way, over in Sanbreque. Went quietly, or so we're told. And she won't be getting off lightly. The Empire may have no love for bearers, but it's none too fond of black market. Can't have been easy for Doris.
I'm sure it wasn't.
I don't hope so. You had quite the past yourself before you came here, or so I understand. Anyway, thanks again, Cid. The Cursebreakers would be lost without Doris. And...
Keep up the good work, Cole. Ready, go? Damn it. The whole village is turned. I need to ride from here. Want to go? Straight home now. This might take a while. That's all of them. A wine can.
Everything's back the way it was.
Take that, you naughty...
Clive! To what do I owe the pleasure? I just wanted to see how the town's been faring since you brought everyone together.
Since we brought everyone together, all is absolutely wonderful. Conrad and Natalie's hands remain safely and firmly at the helm. Our stores are full, and the bandits still just as the good Lady Jane...
Are you a lord? Lubor's going to be one too. They're going to make him the Lord of Dalimil, because of how he stopped all the grown-ups.
It's the mayor of Dalimil, dear child, and the vote hasn't taken place. But if the people wish me to lead them, I shall. And my first act will be to build a school so that menaces like you two learn not to... Speaking of menaces, there may be a rather worrying one just over the horizon.
May there indeed.
I'm afraid the example Conrad and Natalie set in putting aside their differences and presenting, and they have formed what one could call a League of and they grow more organized.
We'll fight them all off just like last time. No matter how many of them there are. Won't we, Lou?
Of course we will. If we continue to work together, we can overcome. The longer we avoid facing this one, the more difficult it will be. Until the only way to overcome it might... Our best hope is to nip these efforts at organization by finding those ne'er-do-wells who have yet to join the cause and ensuring that they never do. Perhaps a certain Lord Underhill might be willing to lend us his aid once more?
How could I refuse?
Victor will fill you in on I have him stationed by the desert gate, receiving and collating reports from my scouts.
I'll go and speak with him.
What's the difference between a lord and a mayor?
A League of Outlaws. Sounds like we have some competition. Still in Dalimil, Victor?
Ah, Sid.
I thought you'd have returned to Cosnis by now.
I did. Then I came. I've developed something of a fondness for the place. Having worked so hard to see it saved from one fate, it would seem remiss. A sentiment Master Lubor certainly isn't shy about exploiting.
You're not the only one.
What does he want you to do?
He asked for my aid in putting down the bandits, and he said that you might be able to help me find them.
Then you've come at just the right time. I was on my way to speak with Con. There are more camps in the vicinity than we can safely strike at once. But we must strike together, and we must strike soon, at as many camps as we can. We can't give this League of their...
All right.
There's one upriver. Just out there, across the dune.
Leave it with me. Good girl. Fly, Ambrosia.
Where's Ned? Well,
time to fight. That must be the camp Victor mentioned. Come on then, Torgal. Straight home now.
That's him! The one who killed Locke and Fingers! Take his head off!
I'd better let Victor know.
Cid, where... Ah, I see the bandits did...
No, but...
No. Something's happened.
What is it?
The whole town's saying that Lubor...
What?
Seems that one of our parties wasn't as thorough as they should have been. They let one of the bandits escape. And his escape route took him... Some of the children spotted him, and he was about to... And when Lubor felled him... with a bolt of magic and without a crystal.
But that's not possible.
It is, if he's a bearer and has been hiding it all these years. If he has, well, I wouldn't blame him. Still, all those people see is a man who's lied to them all his life. One who has made a leader of himself.
Fuck.
I don't know where we go from here, but I know one thing.
You're right.
And now, everyone, I made it a habit to keep a crystal close at hand for just such an occasion. Well, it was bound to...
We're sorry, Lubor, but we just couldn't anymore.
There's nothing to be sorry for. I rather enjoyed playing the... All that matters to me is that you...
Look at him talking to his betters like it's nothing.
All lies, I'll wager. Just like the ones he fed us all these...
Once people make up their minds, it's hard to... We need to do something. Convince the people not to let their prejudices blind them. Convince them that nothing has changed.
You're right.
I'm glad you agree. I'm a Dalmek born and bred. They listen to me. You head to the tap. Make Conrad and Natalie remember. They know that Lubor and I are friends. I might not make for the most impartial. Lord Underhill of Randalar's League of Merchants, however, is a trusted and impartial...
I'll do what I can. Lubor, I can't promise anything, but...
And that is all I can ask of...
Why
Why are you taking the bearers?
Why do they always have to make such a fuss?
I knew all along that he...
Forgive me for disturbing you, but...
As have I, Lord
That's right.
The rumors that he's a bearer.
He'll never be mayor now. Not if I have anything to...
But what of his wares? Bearer or no, his steel is highly valued. In this, at least, he's done the town a service. Might that not earn him a...
Leniency? He pretended to be one of us when he was laughing behind our backs.
I'm sorry, my lord, but he lied to us. He lied to you. He cannot be trusted.
So what do you propose? Will you drive him from his home?
Perhaps. That is a question for the people, and they will thank you not to get him.
The townsfolk have made their minds up.
Nor I. Conrad and Natalie refused to...
You never know. Once their anger is cooled, they might see things different.
All right.
Why the hell would Victor take the bearers' side?
I assumed...
There's still hope.
But perhaps not in this...
You mustn't think like that, Lubor. We'll talk some sense into them in the end.
No. And your efforts would be better spent...
But Lubor...
Rosina would often tell me that steel does not lie. That a blade is a yourself be true. That was rather an ironic one when you consider that her life was taken with a blade of... But I do not doubt that she was always true to herself and what she believed. And so must I be. I must do what I know. And now, I know I must embrace my new role of villain so that the people of Dalimil have something to unite. For only united can they hope to stand against the threat. I'll need to make a suitably dramatic...
Don't go, Lubor. You're the only one who has ever will be all alone.
Trust me, little ones. It is for the best that I go. Not only for the town.
How could it possibly be for the best? The least you can do is give the townspeople a chance to change.
I would not take it, Victor.
Over. And so just like that, you're going to throw this town and these children... I thought you were better than this, but it seems you had me fooled as well.
Victor.
Forget it.
You sure you're making the right choice, Lubor?
Of those available to me, I believe it's the... but where are my manners? Here. Right then.
If there's anything I can do...
I'll bear it in mind.
So Dravost is still standing. For now, at least.
If you can swing a hammer, you can...
I never thought I'd ever... Clive!
And the Akashic?
Mostly off to the north still. But I spoke to Doris' scouts and it turns out things... Told old Snotty to be ready to seal the north gate. That should buy us some time. Enough for the villagers to barricade themselves inside their homes, at least.
Well done.
Welcome back. I'd never have guessed, you know. Not who'd have thought that the savior of Dravost would turn keen to help us out again.
I am.
Thought you could sneak off without me, did you?
Blackthorn.
Oh, what are you
One of the scouts couldn't keep his voice down. Unlike my best mate who didn't think I deserved to know. Zoltan. Well, long enough for us two to turn into a pair of old codgers, I...
That your idea of an apology? Prick.
Don't listen to him. You only did what you thought was best. For the...
But that ain't the whole of it. Vulcan, our master, didn't leave the chieftain to the two of us. He left it to me. The best blacksmith in Dravost, barring himself. Bloody stupid. If someone's got talent, You should let them practice their craft, not ask them to settle petty. Our master wasted half his life that way. I wasn't about to let that happen to me.
So you're wasting half of mine instead.
You're what Dravos needed. Under me and my precious ideals, this place wouldn't have lasted a year. So I left to devote myself to the work, and I may be a selfish prick, but I only did what I felt...
What you had to do was your duty!
Even if it meant we all starved?
Enough. You can finish beating each other up once Dravos is safe.
Yeah. So have I.
Sorry, Clive. I shouldn't be short enough on time as it is. Still, give us a mo, would you? I need...
Anyone without a blade, come and get one. Sharpest edge in Dravos, guaranteed.
Promise you'll come back to me.
Don't you dare leave me
I promise. We've spread the word. Those who can't fight are taking refuge inside their houses.
Good. Then let's get the tools out.
You,
We can't afford to waste any more.
Right you are. Might be worth having... Don't want any nasty surprise. Oh, and... Blackthorn?
Akashic on them.
How close are they?
Within sight of the walls. And there are more...
What was that?
They'll wash right over us if we stay out in the open. We're pulling back...
Good idea. Get yourselves inside, but...
Understood.
I'm prepared to fight if I have to.
Well, let's hope you don't. That's that. Once the scouts are inside, order your men to barrack. No heroic last stands, you hear me? No fight.
August's right. I've seen what Akashic... The people here are tough and willing. But they ain't...
I'm going out there. Start work on the gate as soon as I've left. I'll give you as much time as...
And if they kill you?
You evacuate. Then it won't come to that. Take good care of Dravos till...
Leave it to me. And...
All right. Which one of you's first? Is that it? Apparently not. Not getting past me. Now, the question is, did I miss any?
Man alive! You're still in one piece!
I slew as many as I could.
As many as I could, he says. The old bleeding lot, more like it. Well, almost.
Only almost.
Yeah, one or two did try to sneak over the wall. But we got the bastards, don't you?
Good. Are you
In time, yeah. But we can think about them later.
Sid! You're even more fearsome than you're enough to give those Akashic monsters nightmares. I almost felt sorry for the wretched, but mostly, I felt...
I'm afraid I've only delayed the inevitable. There's no getting rid of that ether, meaning that any living thing which stumbles into those mines will end up...
And that's if the flood don't spread. If it does, I hate to say it, but the village's days are...
That may be, but with ether floods springing up all over, it's no less safe than anywhere, and more importantly, we'll fortify the gates to the north, and I'll see that they're guarded day and night.
All right. Then we'll give you a hand shoring up...
As for you, Blackthorn, that's twice you've turned up when Dravosh needed, so...
I shouldn't have stayed away so long. And I shouldn't have left with...
Too bloody right you shouldn't. Though I always envied you. How you made everything. You leaving gave me the perfect excuse, and from that day on I never once stopped to wonder what it would have been like if you'd stayed. You'd have been the death of this place.
Finally. Something we can agree on. I hope you see the sense of it eventually.
Alive, perhaps. Wealthy even, but... Dravoj, our work used to be the pride of Dalmekit. Now, we churn out the same rubbish day after. It's not about the craft. I wouldn't send my sons to war wearing this. I've kept working, honing my skills, trying to lead by example, but the average castle apprentice has as much passion for the craft as our current lot. Come back to us, Blackthorn. I'll even man those bellows of yours if it means we can work at the same forge again.
That's a kind offer. Kinder than I deserve. There's people who trust their lives to my steel. But that doesn't mean I couldn't visit from time to time. Let's see if we can't rekindle this town's passion for the craft, shall we?
I'd like that.
Just be sure to tell Snotty to let me in the next time I come call.
Knowing him... Blackthorn. I never thought I'd see the day.
I'd say that went pretty well, wouldn't you?
Even better than I'd hoped.
Cid.
And this is?
A token of our last... But I'm of a mind to make you a far... Designs for a certain sword have been passed down from chief to chief.
Now hold on, Zolt. There's a reason no one's made that blade in centuries. There's not been... I'll admit your cinders make impressive steel. And I've learned to own an edge Odin will... But the engravings on that thing are enough to make it. And they're not just for show.
Have you forgotten what brought you back to Dravoj in the first place? I knew I'd never surpass you with the hammer and tongs. So I turned my hat between the two of us. I'd say we're the equal of...
Clive, you wouldn't mind if Zolt...
As long as he can keep our secret.
Right. Zoltan.
We were just about to make a start on that.
It's funny, but none of this would have been... You remember Camille? We'll be using his level work for the grip. The steel, meanwhile, will be tempered in a fire, burning the cinder, and that whetstone from the Outer Isles, that'll be... And the final flourish will be my talented colleague.
A team effort, led by the greatest...
Now, save that talk to the things... Right. I'm...
To the bellows it is.
Well, bugger me. We actually did it.
The sword to end all swords. Ragnarok.
It's quite something.
I, trust you'll take good care of it.
Thank you. Both of you.
So, does this make you pair the greatest craftsman alive, then?
This? Nah. This was just following the footsteps of the greats of old. It'll take more than that to earn us our place in history. But we're up for the challenge. Here.
A list of materials.
Zoltan and I got talking on the long road back from...
We reckon with those items there, we could craft something...
That's a weapon I'd like to see.
I was hoping you'd say that.
One legend at a time, eh, lads? Before you start on the next, who
Good idea. No more drinking to forget my past. It's about time I had something to celebrate.
Then tap the kegs! Vulcan's...
What do you want? That it? Fine. Trouble with your gear, or... I never fought me in Zoltan. If it hadn't been for you, we wouldn't. You do what you need to do, Clive.
Have you tried Molly's lemon tarts? I've never had anything so delicious.
Canva lost. It can't be true.
Miss, can we read Miss Editor's story for our lesson today?
What a wonderful idea, Jocelyn. Let's do just that.
How was she? The Enterprise.
Ah, Sid. So?
Good, thankfully.
That's brilliant! I'll fit him to the smelter. May the Telemon furnace!
She's a beauty.
You saved my bacon again, Sid! And I...
It's fine, really.
Oh, don't say that. I'm sure I can make a few improvements to...
You could just buy me a big...
How about that clasp? Looks a bit stiff. Reckon you could loosen it up and make some more... And I reckon I know how. With a new alloy we've been working on. It's a metal, see? So it's lovely and strong.
Stretchy metal.
That is the spirit. So, what do you reckon?
It's... Actually, thank you all.
Shh. Don't mention... And I wanted to get some practice in using that metal anyway. Reckon we'll have... Oh! Can't think of any right now, but... Maybe even out there. One day, the whole world's gonna know about the inventions you've helped us put together.
They'll hardly believe their eyes, I'm sure.
Lord Rosfield, is there aught the
Perhaps. My brother said that your order was helping him with his... Have you learned anything of note since...
Little and less.
I see.
Be assured, however, that we will not rest. Even now, our archaeologians scour ruins in...
Fallen ruins, I take it. Dating back...
Indeed. Ultima's thralls are oft sighted among the remnants of the... as if protecting the secrets.
Secrets we'd see unearthed.
Should our methods be... Mayhap it would please you to observe.
Would that be possible?
Of course. A survey is perchance you are familiar with Kretov. A small hamlet built around I was due to visit my colleagues there to collect their preliminary... If you would consent to do so in my stead, I'm sure that they would be on...
All right.
They will be most... Might I suggest you take the road? It will lead you straight to the village after...
Thank you.
I wish you a safe journey, my lord. May the Firebird's flames burn...
A village built around an airship. Sounds like another lost wing. I hope the inhabitants are just as friendly.
Are you buying or selling? Of course. Anything else? Of course.
Straight home now.
It's over.
Let's try. ready, girl? Faster! Don't get surrounded. All right. Oh no. You'll pay for this. May still be survivors. Say it's their leader. Should have stayed in the past. These must be Cyril's colleagues.
You have our thanks.
Who are you?
I did not recognize you. We are archaeologians, tasked with surveying this site. Thanks to them, and to you, we were, for a
You call that? Your brothers might still be alive if you put... Surely this survey wasn't worth dying for.
We are charged with uncovering a duty of the highest import.
And you think your dead brothers would agree?
I know they would. They gave their lives for the cause. Now, to what do we owe the honor of your presence?
Cyril told me of your work here, and I agreed to collect your find.
I see. That is most kind. May the Firebird's flame burn ever in your...
It's one thing to lay down your life for another, but for a survey... I suppose...
Ah, you are...
Aye. Here.
My thanks. I shall study them, and inform you forthwith if I discover aught.
Cyril, your losses which could have been avoided. Had the others not chosen to complete, were these your order?
No. Every Undying devotes his life to the service of the Phoenix.
Even when death is avoidable.
My lord, I fear that the Undying have served the Phoenix for countless generations. And your opinion of our methods, we live to serve the Phoenix. Our very order exists.
Cyril, but allow me to offer you a word of advice. It does not further the cause of the Phoenix to have his loyal followers provide your survey parties with an escort, that they might live to do their duty for you. Think not only of how you can serve the Phoenix, but how Joshua, please.
I thank you. If you will permit me to respond. Our faith in his grace, and we of the Undying, will do what we believe is right as first shield to the Phoenix.
I do.
Then we are of the same mind. And it...
Ah, Clive. You'll be pleased to know that the
That is good news.
Yes. Our comrade in Randala has just sent... I still have much and more to prepare. It's a huge undertaking moving. You couldn't do me a quick favor.
What is it this time?
Nothing like that. I just need you to go over to the caravans and ask El how long we have. Find out exactly how much faster I need to get all these...
All right.
Thanks, Clive.
Don't blame yourself, El. This is their fault, not yours.
I know, but...
No buts about it.
Is something wrong?
Vonnie came to give me a message from the talks with the Republican Army have fallen. They've reached an agreement with the Silver Peak Consortium. Though prices have fallen of late, we deliberately offered above the going rate to try and... But the Consortium offered double what we did, and the Army jumped at...
And you had no opportunity to make a counteroffer?
None at all. And we were...
El? I saw Vonnie leaving.
And with good reason.
But I thought we were the only ones the Fist was speaking to. How did the Consortium even find out about this?
It's not so surprising. They have ears. This isn't over. The Consortium will have to sell these bearers eventually. And I'm going to Randalar myself.
Alone?
Are you offering to be my body? How kind. Meet me at the checkpoint near the capital gates. I'll send an out. You go to Cashlock, Theo, and get everything ready. Even if I fail to free these bearers, someone needs to prepare the place and keep any prowling
Oh, and that's me, is it? Well, looks like I'm following order from meeting the Silver Peak Consortium, who've been doing their best to undermine our scheme. She'll never join them after this, surely. No, she said... herself, she still has plans for Cashlock, even if this one falls through. She means to stay with us then. I can't say I'm...
You have to trust...
You're right. And if El's off fighting for the cause, I should do my... So I bid you farewell and say... I'll gather my men and leave for Cashlock. You go to Randalar and see if you can stop my sister biting the Consortium's heads off.
I'll do my best. All right. To Randalar, then. And better not keep Eloise waiting. Well...
What I wouldn't give for a hot meal.
Looks like this is the end of the road for us.
When are they gonna let us through?
Come on. Run like the wind. All right. Thanks, Cal. I hope I didn't keep you waiting. Did you arrange to speak with her?
Here they are now.
You wish to consult with me?
I did. It's about we had all but finished making arrangements to buy them ourselves.
You misunderstand. The Consortium had an interest in purchasing them. It was only our regard for you that kept us from bidding. But your hesitancy in accepting our offer to you suggested, and so we resumed our business.
I did not hesitate. I am simply not inclined to make such decisions, but what is done is done. Come then.
Alas, you are too late yet again. We rarely take on such unconventional merchandise without a purchase. The bearers belong to him.
Who is your buyer?
A trader from across the water. A most demanding fellow, if it's any consolation. He insisted the bearers be fed, dressed, even given their own bunks. That's what you get when you deal with Continental.
I wouldn't know.
Oh yes, the culture on the continent is quite different to ours. They pay good money for bearers not fit for the knacker's yard, and treat them like king.
That does sound no matter then. If they've already left our shores, there's little that can be... And with it, my interest in...
My associates will be sorry to hear that.
I'm sorry you weren't able to say.
As am I. He was right. Yes, the Silver Peak Consortium did intend. Their representative hinted at a possible. I feigned interest in joining them in the hope he might be encouraged. As soon as he left, I sent my own offer.
So you never.
No. I entertained the Consortium's proposal solely so I could learn more about those bearers. But I was a fool to think they wouldn't find out. I knew exactly who I was dealing with.
You tried.
I did. And if what he said was true, they deserved more. I wanted so badly to see.
Eloise! Word from Cashlock. The village is under. A pack of beasts have come down from the mountains, and there's a drag. Theo and the others are trying to hold them off as best they can, but they need help.
Theo!
I'll go on ahead.
Thank you, Clive. I'll gather some men and join you there. Just...
Hold on, Theo.